very good at
All
that.
right. Here we go.
Wahoo!
Hello and welcome to
Khyber
Shards.
Shards. Like Mario. What do you want me to do?
Where are we? Where are we?
Welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play set in the Eberron campaign world. Our sponsor for tonight's episode is the House Galanda Travel Agency. Come visit our new location in Stormreach, all-inclusive resorts promising jungle tours and safe adventure.
Safety not guaranteed. House Galanda and its affiliates are not responsible for injury or death by poisonous plant, gas, or dart.
What?
Casey, what happened last time?
We had a brilliant plan, and then the boat that came along, instead of smugglers, had ghouls. We fought them, and then a vampire broke out of a box, and we tackled it. Mostly, it bit Pog, and then Lady Taurus stabbed it, and it disintegrated?
Just died.
Just died.
That's all.
It's still there.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, you just totally wrote
So-
Esri out of that entire narrative. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I didn't
Shane doesn't
mention
know about it.
anybody by name.
Except for Pog.
Except Lady
Forgot that.
Taurus. Oh, and Pog. I did mention him by name.
Not for his deeds, though.
Yeah.
For his blunders. Which is how Casey will remember all of us. Not for our good deeds, but for our
Being
blunders.
too close to the wrong place.
If I do the retelling of the story, this is what happens.
Eric's a
Well, the evil that men do in life lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones.
Casey writes my obituary.
Ooh.
Eric was an average student of middling success.
All right. So we are standing by the banks of the river. The dawn is coming into the sky, though the sun is not quite up. Lady Taurus has just washed her hands in the river to get the blood off of them from touching the vampire, and has turned back, and she turns to the young man who's accompanying her, and says, "Alas, return and fetch a few more knights. I do not wish to assume that this is the conclusion of this matter." And the young man turns and runs away very fast. And she turns back to you all. So, perhaps you would like to give me some sort of report as to what is going on
Yeah.
in our district.
We had gotten word that some members of the Emerald Claw were going to attempt smuggling something into the city, and we showed up with the intent to stop it. And then where we expected to find smugglers, we found ghouls, and where we expected to find contraband, we found a vampire. So,
Philip, are
Yeah.
vampires commonly known to us?
You all know of vampires. You would certainly know. So, probably here's what you know about vampires. You know that vampires exist, and you've probably got some urban legend and or conspiracy theories about people who you think might be vampires. But you wouldn't know for certain. The way that the law, the legal code of the Five Nations is written, undead don't count as people because they've already died. So killing a vampire is not murder. So vampires keep it on the down low.
And like in Ari's brain, he acknowledges she stabbed her in the heart and that killed her. Now, if somebody stabbed me in the heart, that would also kill me, and I'm not a vampire. But Lady Taurus knows more about this stuff than I do, and if she thinks it's a vampire, I'm just going to go with the idea that it's a vampire. That's where Ari's at mentally right now. So yeah, that's and we did our best to keep people safe. One gentleman got slashed by a ghoul. He's fine but paralyzed, I think.
She
And Pog was
walks
bit.
over.
Oh, and Pog got bit?
Pog is still has not moved. Pog is laying, staunching the bleeding from a bite on his neck.
Taurus walks over to Pog and bends down and puts her hand on your hand and moves it away from your neck.
Oh, hi.
And gently but firmly pushes your head to one side so she can look at the wound.
Oh.
And the hand on your hand warms as she holds your hand away from the wound, and you regain 11 hit points.
Is my max still?
Although your maximum is still 7 below its normal. That will go away. I'm just going to tell you now so that I don't have to keep track of when it happened. That will go away when you finish a long rest.
Okay. Thank you.
And she says,
Thank you. Oh.
You're not in any danger. And if it had killed you, by draining your blood, you might be in some level of danger. But just this, you should be all right.
It's gonna be a pretty cool scar, though, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And then she walks over to the man and looks at the wound. Ghoul wounds induced paralysis in the victim, making it easier to feed. He should recover shortly. It is a short-term paralysis. She looks at the woman, and the woman nods, and the woman says, "That one," and she points at Shade. They killed the ghoul that was on top of him. It would have torn him apart. And Taurus nods. And
Having heard the
and
word
stands back up.
paralyzed, Ezri will sort of mope over and reach down and touch the man and cast Lesser Restoration.
His muscles unclench as if thawing, and he breathes deep.
Tasting and smelling of kombucha.
Ari, the one that ran into the wall at the very end and smacked its head, that was over kind of on the other side. Well, and I guess just in general, while all this stuff is happening, Ari is going through trying to find Thora asking about their dress tipped Ari off, looking for some kind of clue, just looting the bodies, looking for some information. So that's what Ari's doing at this point.
So as you search the bodies of the ghouls, you find nothing to identify them as anything but riverboatmen, but the crew of a riverboat. You find on one of them, you find papers for ownership of the boat, just wrapped in a waxed packet under the jacket of one of them, and nothing identifies them as Emerald Claw. They seem to have been a riverboat crew.
We got a boat.
Well, first, how big is this boat?
This person's estate has a boat.
It's It's about 7 feet across by 15 feet long.
So I'm gonna go
Ari,
on the boat. Is there anywhere that people could be hiding?
I know it's just a barge, like it's an open topped river barge.
Then he's gonna. There's a dead one on the boat, right?
Cut in half.
Yeah.
He's going to take its shirt or jacket or whatever it has off.
It's easy to do, actually.
It's not exactly tucked
and
in.
find
anymore.
somewhere to affix it to the boat.
Okay.
And he looks down and says, "Our boat now."
no. What are we gonna do with a boat?
Have a boat.
I think
I wrote
Ari
code.
speaks into his communicator. And Thora, the crew of this weren't Emerald Claw. They were just a regular riverboat crew. So if the Claw had any involvement in this, they certainly weren't hands-on. And also, I found the papers of ownership. Is there a name on the papers of ownership, or is it just kind of a blank, like,
Yeah.
I own boat piece of paper?
No, yeah, there's a name on the deed.
I also, one of them had the papers of ownership on him for the boat. I don't know how we would go about tracking down who this person was or anything like that, but yeah, I guess we could take the boat, or we could just try to get the boat to this person's family.
Right, yeah. If only you had some idea, some contact who would be particularly skilled at tracking down someone in a city.
If only I was intentionally talking to that person on a communicator and saying, I don't know how to do this. Thora.
Right. Bring the papers back with you.
All right. Sassy broad. Oh, crap, this is still on.
You said that the vampire's body didn't like disintegrate, like we would know. It's
Correct.
Still, okay. Is anyone standing near it?
Taurus has returned to stand near it, but she's not interacting with it at the moment.
Pog is going to look. I mean, it's covered in bandages, so there's really nothing to find on it. And so,
Right.
Pog is going to look up to her and say, "Can I have her teeth?"
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What do you want her teeth for?
Well, when we kill a monster, I like to have its teeth.
He does.
This was a person. Something terrible was done to them. But this was a person.
So no? Because it's not. Because that bit me like not a person. And it died like not a person.
It was put out of its misery. She was put out of her misery.
No, okay.
To take... What exactly... You say you had received some sort of clue that the Emerald Claw were smuggling something into the city. What are you... Why are you getting clues? What is this?
We're just helping.
Do we have a letter?
I don't think Thor had time to make the letterhead yet.
We don't have
That
a
would
card.
make this much easier.
We're okay, sorry, I'm re-looking through my notes to see the House Tarkanan thing was like our
That was the organization
name.
Yeah.
Grimalkin Academy is the name of the school.
Yep.
We're a new group in Stormreach that are just trying to help out where we can, bring something good for people in a city that doesn't do that for them very often. So our group goes by the name House Tarkanan. No,
This is an interesting choice.
no relation to the Shard group that you may have read about.
I see. Well, whatever your reasons for doing it, you did a good thing here. You protected people from evil. And that is good.
Yes. If I go ahead.
You can see there are a few other Knights of Thrane,
Yeah.
on their way down the bank, coming back with Hollis.
I know that the Knights of Thrane up here are more than capable of having their district under control, but if you are ever in need of additional assistance, we are available and wouldn't ask anything in return.
I
We
appreciate
should
that.
get our chain.
Oh, well, yeah. Get the chain out of the water, but
Did you put a chain in the water?
to stop the boat.
Terrible traffic hazard.
Well, to stop the smuggling boat.
It was
We're gonna
supposed to be a
take
traffic
it.
hazard.
We're gonna leave it.
Solarka is overhauling the
Thank you,
stake
Solarka.
out of the mud, and is then walking across the river to get the other side.
That's why
she
she-
begins coiling the chain.
She's the brains and the muscle.
I see.
Any
Yeah.
idea why? I mean, you seem to be more knowledgeable about this sort of thing.
This, she nudges. This is not a true vampire. This is a thrall made by a vampire. They are lesser servants, but not the full being.
So her vampire is still around?
Alive, presumably. I suppose I do not know. There is a theory that if the vampire that creates a thrall is killed, the thrall dies, but I have never known it to be tested. So,
Does it
in the
have to
meantime,
be close? Or can they go far away from their vampire?
no, she is in her own way vampiric. She drinks the blood of the living, as you discovered. And we should do something. We should do something before the sun comes up. It was not something that we will want
Fair.
children to see. And she reaches down and using the ropes that you had coiled around the body, picks it up, and walks towards and begins to carry the body onto the boat. And she looks back to make sure that no one is looking, and then heaves the body over the side of the boat away from the crowd, and kneels down and holds it. And you can see steam start to rise. Estri, if you're still on the boat, you see the water around it start to boil and fizz like hydrogen peroxide.
Gross.
As Taurus holds her hands down under the water, and then after a little bit, she lets go, and there's just the sort of reddish foam flowing down the river, dissipating into the current.
Does that work with any water?
Running water. Vampires cannot tolerate running water.
What about walking water?
Don't encourage this, Casey. Don't encourage this. He won't stop if you give him
It was the
encouragement.
sound bite. It was the sound effect.
He'll just keep going.
It was a good sound. Yeah, the sound effect
It
was
was
well
great.
done. It was well executed.
Pog, why was it okay to boil it in the water, but not to take its teeth?
I think because she's kind of making it up as she goes along, and
Okay.
whatever she wants to do is
That
what's
makes
okay.
more sense.
That's why we need to be
Okay.
more important, so we can do what we want to.
Ari's doing something else.
Yes.
Ari is somewhere else. He's not in this conversation, so Ari's not going to say anything. Ari would express concern to Thora that maybe this was a diversion. Maybe this was, we had pretty specific parameters of what was going to happen, and that didn't happen. So did we get the wrong boat? Was the intel bad? Did somebody know that we knew?
I don't know. The claw deal in necromancy. If the crew didn't start as ghouls, if something out there made them ghouls, and they were bringing a vampire into the city, then that may have been the job. It was to bring the vampire into the city.
Yeah, the claw could have turned the crew into ghouls, hired the crew, turned them into ghouls, and just set the boat down the river. Okay. Well,
Do you have a chance to examine the vampire?
Lady Taurus of the Knights of Thrane and some more Knights of Thrane are on the scene now since we're in their turf. She explained that it was a thrall of a vampire, not a full-on vampire, and she has disposed of the body at this point.
All right.
I don't think she was.
No,
gonna
that wasn't
relent
the
on
sort
that.
of thing you could have.
Yeah.
There's nothing you could have done about that.
But she was. I haven't debriefed with other members of the team, but she did talk to Esri kind of weird. So we need to talk about that.
Lady Taurus.
No, the vampire thrall.
Oh.
I didn't, as far as I know, catch Esri responding in any way, but
Interesting.
she expressed an affinity towards Esri. So I don't know what that's about.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good to know. His profile does have necromantic effects to it.
Maybe an energy thing she could just sense. I don't know, but
That's possible.
anyway.
But we can discuss it.
Cool.
We can discuss it with him rather than about him.
Yeah, of course.
Are there still bystanders?
Some people are starting to move away. Other people are still, the man who was paralyzed is getting up, getting his breath back. There are a few children that have gathered, and you can see people telling what happened to people who have just arrived on the scene. There are, kids daring each other to sneak closer to one of the destroyed ghoul corpses.
As you do.
You see a kid run forward and poke it with a stick.
I'm gonna sort of shout to the whatever crowd is there. If anyone can handle this boat, I'll pay you a silver to get it to port.
Someone. I take boats up the river.
Permission to come aboard granted.
He walks over to the boat and looks, before stepping on, looks at the bisected ghoul that's still lying on the deck. Are we taking that with us?
Ari, do we need the bodies?
No. I'm gonna say no. Unless you have some need for him, but
Oh man. Oh, you had to introduce that idea.
I've been waiting for him to pick one up.
Ari's not here to
this
yuck
one's-
anybody, you know.
This one's cut in half. I'll grab an organ and sort of toss it to the side, and then take the halves of the body and just shuffle them overboard.
Oh, okay. The boatman watches in
Gross.
horror, and you can see Lady Taurus's eyes narrow.
House Tarkan, and tell your friends.
She turns back and starts talking to the other knights that have come up. Do what you can. See if the rest of the crew can be identified. We should contact families. I don't need to see the bodies like this, but and start moving towards the ghoul corpses. The river boatman who's just stepped aboard says, "Going now, or?"
Do you need anything else from us, Lady Taurus?
No, I do not think so. I cannot say I entirely... no, where's the voice? Ooh, jumping back and forth between Thora and her is apparently really
Yeah.
hard. That's weird.
And I think I know the answer to this question. Does Ari sense any level of recognition in Lady Taurus's eyes as she's talking to him?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if need comes up, the floating island above Cross, that's us. So
You know that's going... you know that's going to float away.
no, we think we got it under control.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very well.
Feel free to come by.
Thank you for the information. Thank you for what you did here.
Of course. Be well.
All aboard.
I'm coming.
Fog heads that way.
I get on a boat.
We can go now.
Solarka.
Oh,
She's
Solarka's
hustling
running
back
with
across
chains.
the bridge with the big old coil of chain around over one shoulder. I am coming. But someone had to get the chain before it caused other wrecks.
Yes,
what
good
about
job.
the stakes?
She got this.
She chucks them onto the boat, and heaves the coil of chain down, and then steps on herself.
Thanks, Solarka.
Sorry I didn't help. I got super bit.
Are you all right? Are you all right, Pog?
The lady said so. It doesn't feel great. It should be a cool scar.
It is closed.
It feels bad.
On the bright side,
Boatman pushes off from the shore, and you begin to drift down the river.
none of us went unconscious during that fight, so kudos all around. for that.
Right into Grindstone.
And Ari's just
Good job,
oblivious.
Ari.
Yeah. You know, staying back was a good call.
It didn't.
But yeah, with the lightning lore thing, and then like the momentum, and Cal jumped, like that was a cool little fist bump.
Yeah, I couldn't see a lot, and so it seemed like you did a whole lot, right? Like you did a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff since I couldn't see it. Genuine
Sorry, that just-
compliment for
I just caught up
telepathy.
with that. Yeah.
Esri, what was up with the thrall lady talking to you?
Did you try to leave?
Not here.
Okay. What's your name, sir? He says to the boatman.
Quick,
Of course
Boko names. Boko names.
Just being polite.
Sullivan.
Selwyn, this NPC is going to
Selwyn.
become vital to the campaign, just so you know.
Mhm.
Selwyn.
And your
Congratulations.
That does happen with. that happened with the last random riverboat captain I introduced.
You are Laura's new
in a
favorite.
campaign.
Can you go ahead and spell that for me, Philip?
Salwyn.
Okay.
Just
circle and underline.
Spell it.
Boatman.
Are there any alligators
Um,
in the river?
Probably.
how long have you
Right.
How long have you lived in Stormreach?
All my life.
Ah, excellent. Well, nice to meet you.
Hog is just quietly flirting with Solarka and enjoying
With Selwyn.
their post-adventure recap. We finally
Do you like stars, Selwyn?
fought together on purpose.
I like that.
She's got
this is your definition of quietly.
This is how I landed my wife. I just did this from across the room. The He-Man.
It's just like, you are in my spell.
Oh, I hate it here.
I was at his engagement, guys. That's exactly what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. Made it part of the vow.
Solarka is cleaning her glaive with an unoiled rag to get the viscera off of it.
Gross.
Oh, by the way, quick note, specifically Pog, but general for everyone. Discovered something when...
Selwyn looks attentively.
Yeah, well, Selwyn, maybe not applicable to you, but I appreciate, yes.
He's invested
when
now.
When I'm connected with somebody else's mind, if you hurt them, I feel that hard. So, like, whatever you did to her when she was on the ground and I had her locked down,
That was
I
cool,
felt
right?
all of that No,
Oh.
well, might have been cool up
Oh.
close. For me, though, super sucked. And when she did the stake in the heart, I was also connected. And I think I lost something. I can't remember my grandma's middle name now. So, yeah.
If it helps, she probably doesn't remember you either, because of
I
the
don't
whole
remember the scent of
curse
rain.
thing.
If somebody could point out the color purple later, that would be very helpful. So yeah, if I'm ever like holding somebody down like that, maybe restrain instead of pain. Hey, let's put that on a t-shirt.
That is super good to know. Also,
Very specific, Mark.
I should tell you that when you do any brain things, this is what you do. So all your brain things kind of just look the same. So I'm not quite sure what brain
Yes, but
things
there's
you're doing.
only one brain thing that keeps somebody from moving.
I'm just saying.
So,
I'll try.
If I do a
I
brain
will
thing
try.
and they face plant, I'll let you know. I'll shout.
Sometimes
restrain, not
people
pain.
just trip.
Uh,
That does happen.
yeah.
If you'll allow me this freedom, Philip, I sort of touch my chest, and my armor changes to restrain, not pain.
See, that would move.
I was really hoping you were still wearing a Kolos Crusher shirt.
And Ari lifts up his shirt. He's still got the Kolos Crusher t-shirt.
Yes.
Like the design is much better on Ezri's than mine. Mine I did with just paint on cloth, which is not a good medium, loose cloth anyway. So
oh yeah, I heard about that.
Kolos Crusher, that guy that beat Kolos in the street.
Yeah, what?
You're the Kolos Crusher.
That's
Well,
Fury's Edge.
It is Fury's Edge. Yes, I did beat
By
Kolos.
the sovereigns.
I don't say crushed Kolos.
But that is his nickname. He's modest.
I didn't choose it.
Well, it would be weird. People, if you
That's
choose
not the way of nicknames.
yeah, if you choose your own nickname, that's
I've
says
never
something about
had
you.
one before, so I don't know how.
Now
they
you do,
work.
buddy.
You are passing by a a ship that appears to simply be moored in the river. It's a large black riverboat, much larger than the one you're on, and on its deck has been constructed a shabby-looking inn.
Okay.
Sitting outside the door, there is a man who fits every possible descriptor of salty sea captain.
Okay.
He's slightly stooped over. He's smoking a pipe. He has on a tricorn hat. He's got one of his feet up on a crate as he stands watching you.
How are you, sir?
Standing next to him is a very, very posh-looking, well-dressed man with shoulder-length black hair and a trim black goatee who nods at you.
Boat for sale.
They
No,
watch
it's
you
not
go
for
by.
sale, Ezri.
What else are we gonna do with it?
Find the person it belongs to now.
Pirate
I'm the
code.
person it belongs to now.
I think
claimed
it's
it.
our boat. That's how we got a rock.
Hope you're having a good morning.
100 gold.
No.
Not as interesting as yours, says the posh-looking man in the white clothes.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Yeah. We were helping.
Word moves fast around here, he says as you drift by.
Yeah.
I'll start cannon.
Noted.
And I mean, Natalia specifically stated the Black Freighter as the final. Would we recognize the Black Freighter as the Black Freighter? Or...
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You are aware of the Black Freighter as a tavern
So that was the drop-off point for the boat we just stopped.
The boat we're on.
that you're on,
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I know. I was just
with a big broken open crate lying in the back of it,
Marked contraband
And
to be smuggled.
some internal organ of a ghoul lying on the deck.
Plus the blood of something being cut
and
in
the
half.
ghoul's shirt currently whipping in the wind as the flag
the
of this mighty vessel.
Half of its shirt.
Half the shirt.
Crop top. The ghoul's crop top.
No, it's like the left side.
Oh, okay.
Because Pog clove it in twain.
I would like to cast detect magic. And just look around. Yeah, just look around the boat to see if anything is glowing, and then I'm still a little fuzzy on the actual like shape of this boat or like dimension. I mean, you said the dimensions, but like
It's
if
a
it
big
has decks
rectangle
or whatever. It's just
Yeah, no,
just
it's
like
a big flat.
So there's
big
nowhere to
rectangle.
hide stuff.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'll just detect magic.
I mean, you
and
could-
just kind of.
I guess you could make a. It's got, it's not a raft, so it's not just like the deck is the only thing between you and the water. So you could make an investigation check to see if it has like a smuggler hole or something like that in it. But there's no apparent deck to it. It is a big flat top barge.
13 investigation with detect magic.
So going through detect magic, you. Let me.
Curious.
Curiouser.
You find a secret compartment concealing the sword of soul.
Soul sword.
Soul sword.
You find a strong box
Oh.
that's locked.
Magically, or just I find a strong.
It's just got a padlock on it.
Anybody do anything about
Anyone?
I've broken us past several locks.
that? I don't have thieves' tools. I could probably do decent
I
with
don't
them if I
either.
owned some, but I don't. I got a disguise kit,
Solarka-
and he holds up a Groucho Marx like nose and glasses.
Solarka holds up a blacksmithing hammer that's tucked into her belt.
Like I said, brains and muscle.
I have the
Let's-
comb if we can
let's
pick
wait
it.
until we're not on
Want
water.
The box?
So Lurka should come on
Is the box important?
all of our trips.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I agree.
So, Salwin, you
were
married?
very helpful.
Kids? House affiliation?
25 years.
25 years.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
It's catching.
I told you I'd make it a thing.
No one's gonna know you made it a thing, though.
Doesn't matter.
We
Doesn't
do.
matter. See? Thank you, Shade.
You're passing the treehouse.
Memories. It's on fire.
Does it look the same? I know, that's what I was wondering. Currently being burned down.
It has died. The tree has died.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess we should tell the Swords of Karn that we don't need it anymore.
No one informed me.
What was our lease on that?
Favors.
Signed in blood.
Yours is the
I'm
name
trying to
on
think
it.
through. I don't think we'll need a. Oh, Esri, if there's a security deposit because of all the boards you ripped out of your room, then I'm not paying it.
I'll
the
pay it. I
tree's
have
made
lots
of
of money.
wood.
It's the principle of the thing, Shade.
It was a really good idea.
Yes.
I highly advise always only having a maximum of 3 walls.
But you're living on the balcony at the mansion, right? So we're good.
Mm-hmm. I've only got
Yeah,
2
okay.
walls now.
Yeah, that's less
Hey,
than 3
more's
walls.
the better.
He, Solwyn directs the barge over to the side of the river as you approach the harbor. Obviously, he's not going to take this thing out into the actual harbor water, as it's not really equipped for that.
Good call.
And he catches a rope tossed by a dockhand, who helps him haul the ship up against one of the wharfs and tie it off.
Thank you.
I have a feeling we might be seeing more of each other, Salwyn.
He takes this Solwyn.
Salwyn,
You should come over for dinner sometime if you want.
bring the wife.
I reach down and grab
into a
whatever
pouch.
organ bits I have and say, "Yeah, come on by."
He steps up onto the wharf and
We don't
eat
begins
cool
walking
organs.
back along the bank.
Bye, Salwyn.
Usually.
Forever.
I don't think we eat full organ. Are you going to eat that?
Solarka
Forever.
Solarka looks over. That is not something one usually has to specify.
He
I think
picked
that
up
is one of those things where saying that you don't
It's
is more alarming than saying nothing.
But do we know for sure? Esri, are you going to eat that?
Probably not.
See, we don't know for sure, so technically we didn't even tell him the truth right there.
gross.
I didn't
that's a-
intentionally lie.
That's a person's organ. You realize it's not
You
like
didn't on purpose lie.
Like I've eaten chicken liver before, and that's fine. But I haven't eaten people liver because
Yet.
that's not fine.
What about ghoul
Nope,
liver?
I don't need a probably or a yet. I'm just not gonna do it. Anyway, Salwyn.
Solwyn
gone.
is,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
left. Solwyn is walking briskly.
Yeah.
Out of
briskly
Laura's
away.
life. Bye. Sorry,
We have that
Laura.
effect on people.
We know he's your favorite.
Hearts and minds, Esri.
I don't think that Esri should get to
Livers.
hold the letterheads when we get them.
That's
I don't.
Underrated
because you
comment,
had
Philip. I'm
organs
with
of
you.
defeated foes.
Thanks, Colin.
Underrated
Appreciate
comment. Underrated.
I missed it. I didn't hear
Oh,
it.
that's so good. That's so good. Oh man. Okay.
Anyway,
So we're going home now.
yeah, Slarka, you want to come too? Help debrief with our
Do you want to see our new house?
person,
I
our Thora.
really do, but the shop will be opening,
Fair enough.
and I will need to explain. I will need to explain where I have been.
Do
you
you
need
want me
help
to
with
tell your dad what a good job you did?
No.
Do you want me to tell your dad there was a blacksmith emergency?
No, I do not want you to lie to my father.
I mean, technically, there was
That's
a
bad,
we needed
Ari.
you. We needed you for the chains. We needed your skills as a blacksmith in an emergency. So it's not a lie.
I do not wish you to deceive my father.
All right.
You really do not wish my father to discover that you deceived him.
I didn't deceive him.
I'm saying,
Oh,
in this hypothetical
if I did that,
situation,
yeah, I know.
you really do not want to
I'm with
find... Right.
Oh, he might take that back.
That would be bad.
He might.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. Well,
Do you?
Todd, do you want to take the chain off her hands?
Yeah.
It's on the boat.
Oh,
I guess you wouldn't have just held it the whole time. Draped like a bandolero across you.
She steps up onto the wharf. Thank you for inviting me.
of course.
Thank
Till
you
next
for
time.
coming with us. We got to adventure
Well,
You were
together.
very good at this.
Yes.
It was a good adventure.
Chop that thing's arm off. Just
I did. She looks up at her glaive.
I'm glad you didn't get bit by a ghoul.
like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Slarka. We'll see you next time.
She turns glaive over her shoulder and walks off.
Home? I'm very tired.
I'm pretty
I don't
hungry.
get up this early ever. This is like 2 hours past my bedtime. So,
I'm pretty hungry.
Did you not sleep the night before? Did you have Ari stay up all night before and not tell me and allow me to force you to have exhaustion?
Ari had his sleep aid, so he was able to, not the strong kind
Oh,
that he wanted,
right.
where he could just, but,
Right.
but
That's
yeah,
right.
No, he took his sleep aid so he could get sleep before this. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So back home.
Yeah.
That's where we go.
Cool. Do you want to wait until we get within the walls to talk, Esri, or now that we're away from other ears, are you cool? If you want to wait, that's fine. Just
It's. Well, we should probably tell Laura, but I know what it was here for. Just trying to get a message.
okay.
Did it tell you the
I'm-
message?
Some
you
of
ask it?
Was in pain.
Okay. I mean, I was like, while everything was happening, I gave Thora a rundown of like what happened. There wasn't any Emerald Claw, Vampire Thrall. Like, she's been kind of debriefed on what happened, and I kind of explained the erratic behavior of the vampire while we were trying to take care of it. So she's kind of up to speed.
She was
but
trying to
definitely-
reach the claw.
Okay, cool. Well, then that tracks with what we thought the mission was, I guess. Yeah, I guess might as well just have all the big discussions with Thora there, so we don't need to have it twice.
Did you find any books? No.
I went to sleep after you asked me last night to prepare for today, so I was planning on doing that this afternoon. I was assuming we'd have some downtime, so.
You return to the manor, and I mean, the four of you, or the four of you plus Thora are the entire occupancy of this building at the moment. So it's a bit. You eventually find Thora sitting in the back garden with a stack of papers next to her, and she's going through them.
Hey, Thora.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yep. Yeah. Here's the papers that I had mentioned, and he gives her the ownership papers for the boat. So I don't know if you can track down who that was, but well, I assume you can. But
I'll give it a go.
all right.
I got bit by a vampire thrall. They said I was okay, but can you tell me for sure?
Oh, entirely. Do you currently want to bite me?
That's the lady.
No.
All right. Step out here.
He does.
Close your eyes. Point your face directly at the sun. Well, you're not smoking or catching fire, so I would say you're probably all right.
I'm really glad that you took me seriously.
Did you come through the front? Did you come through the front door without being invited?
Is that real? Okay. I have never seen one of these before. So,
I was just running a check.
I got bit in the neck, so I don't know.
My understanding from this is not my field of expertise, but my understanding is that you would need to be killed, entirely exsanguinated by a vampire in order to be turned into a vampire.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure, because that's what she said, but I don't know her, and I've been
I cast
bit by
Fairy
a lot
Fire
of
on
things.
Pog.
You're sparkling in the sunlight.
But that's not a thing.
I read a book once, but
It was
It looks
probably
really nice.
with the Lord.
really overrated. I like this.
It was
though.
really that. My understanding is that book was greatly offensive to the actual vampire community in Corvair.
I don't think they were the target audience, though. So
My understanding is it
Probably
was
not.
offensive to everyone who
Do
could
we
read
have that one
before
in the
they read
library?
it.
I have not read it.
Don't
I haven't gone through.
I
the
don't know. We might.
don't
Yeah,
don't.
Orlando might
There's
have been a
probably
big
some
young
fiction.
adult
Orlando.
fan. You know.
Hey,
Crazy?
Young adult fiction fan. Young adult
There you go.
fiction fan. I mean, young adult fan. That's yes. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I like that you revisited to double check that it came out wrong.
Just had to
Good
be
job.
sure.
Well done. Clarify that it was not good.
Laura,
Esther.
I was able to convince it to tell me what it was here for.
Oh, awesome.
Whoa.
Interesting. How did you do that?
I spoke to it telepathically and convinced it I was on its side.
Arya's
That's
taken
why you
seat
ran
in the
away
garden.
and then didn't help at all.
Listen. There,
Pog whispers to Shade.
Shade.
I wish we
both
could
both
do
Pog
brain
and Arya
stuff.
lean into whisper to Shade.
And she
Sorry.
just goes cross-eyed, trying to listen to both sides at once.
Sorry, what
They
did
say
you say,
anything?
Colin?
They just lean in.
Just got intimidatingly
Well,
close.
they lean in, then they realize they both leaned in, and it's like, oh.
Pog said,
Now Shade has 2 people in her space.
I wish we could do brain stuff.
I don't know that I do. It seems kind of scary and people, I don't want to be in their brains.
That's a good point.
Ari,
She
on that
wanted-
exchange, just shakes his head and leans back. Does not whisper. Just later.
She wanted me to take her to the claw.
Well, are we back? Right. Laura sets down the piece of paper that she had picked back up.
We spent a lot of time in only each other's company.
Right, understood.
She wanted me to get her to the claw.
What exactly did the vampire
said-
thrall?
She was here to give a message from the master
Her vampire,
that
presumably.
he was seeking a sword. The
Whoa.
soul sword.
She makes a note. Interesting. I can reach out to some people about that, or maybe put Natalia on it. She might be able to shake something loose.
You've never heard of that?
I have not. It's hard to say whether that's the name of a weapon or a type of weapon. There were a lot of things. It could mean a lot of things. Just off the top of my head, I can think of several conceivable ways to interpret that.
I have a
None
staff
of which immediately ring a bell.
that has like a mind
Yes.
blade. Is that like
Yes, you do.
a soul sword?
It's possible. There is a Riedran tradition of warriors that they refer to as soul knives who produce mind blades as their primary weapon.
Do you think the vampire wanted my staff?
I don't think so, and my reasoning for that is that staff was most certainly produced in Riedra. And I can't rule out the possibility that this vampire is Riedran, but does seem a bit of a stretch. I've actually never heard of a Riedran vampire. In any case, so it's looking for the soul sword. It's a messenger, is what you're saying. This thing was a messenger from its master, or from a master, I suppose. I shouldn't jump to too many conclusions, but that sounds like it's speaking about its vampire, the vampire that made it.
The way she said it. The way she said it made it sound like I was supposed to understand, like it was like our master.
Interesting.
Would we have any potential inroads? Because clearly the Emerald Claw contingent here in Stormreach was the intended recipient of the message, right?
That seems... That's the evidence that we have, and sounds from what Ezra's saying here.
So, I mean, do you know of any potential inroads that we might have to, I guess, be more proactive than throwing out feelers?
Seeker community here is very, very protective. The Emerald Claw gave their religion a bad name to a certain degree, but some of them also think of the Emerald Claw as heroic. So it's hard to gauge when dealing with followers of the Blood of Bull whether they'll be for or against the Claw. That's who the Emerald Claw dwell among. The Swords of Karn are the militia that controls that area and are no friends of the Claw.
Okay.
But I don't know whether they'll have a great deal of intelligence on them or just agree that they're bad.
We have good relations with them, so I don't think it would cost much for us to at least ask them.
No, probably not. The agents that was here the last time.
What?
Who were there?
The Emerald Claw.
The Emerald Claw were there.
The guy from the Red Ring who brought all the bodies to life.
You saw him?
Wait, is that right?
I didn't
Sorry,
see.
that is Emerald Claw. No, that's the.
They were Emerald Claw.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, wasn't there a knight name associated with them as well?
The Knight of Skulls.
Okay.
The Knight of Skulls was the person in the arena.
And that's what I saw.
No, you saw a necromancer wearing a red lacquered face mask.
Oh, that was the one in the stands.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No,
Also the person that you bumped into on that very, very bad night who was muttering about
Corpses.
graveyard corpses.
Okay. So retcon some
low
of that.
quality
But
graveyard corpses.
the red mask guy. Person.
Oh, that me and Shade tried to get at during the commotion.
They were on
They
the
are-
bridge.
Very strong.
Yeah.
They are
Uh,
much stronger than
Yeah.
me.
I mean, they goofed me up in one go, so. Also, we went right past the black freighter on our way here in the boat that they were expecting, and at least 2 of the people on the black freighter saw us on the boat and talked to us, so that may have been a goof up on our part. Yep, your look is warranted and understood.
But we were supposed to be seen.
Not
That-
by them, I don't think. By the people that saw it, like the Knights of Thrane and the citizens and the people we were helping, yes. The enemy, not so much.
We didn't
Well,
say that though.
Can't be undone.
No,
So-
Right?
yeah. What?
We didn't say that. So like, I mean, my bad.
You didn't.
But I didn't.
We did not do any kidnapping.
That's true. I don't know. That opportunity didn't come up, but
I didn't kill any now people.
You all handled this very well.
thank you.
It may or may not prove to be a problem that the Emerald Claw saw you in the vessel that they were expecting. Yes.
Well, it sounds like they were there, so
Um,
they saw us in action also. So
That sounds like then probably spilled milk and all that.
drink it up.
One more thing.
I'll go and pick up the box.
Oh, lockbox. Oh, and Solarka's not here with her hammer. Dang it.
Pog, could you?
I bet Thora could just open it.
He already said. Hog grabs one of the hand axes and puts it in and tries to just pry and pop it open.
Make a strength check.
14.
Yeah, you managed to break the padlock.
There you go.
What is in it?
There are 30 gold pieces.
So
I'm not sure the protocol here.
yeah, is this like collective fund for renovation or fun money?
Thora laughs. You all can take that and
Thank you.
spread it among yourselves as you see fit.
Doesn't divide by 4.
Well, we can break it down into silver. I got change.
Thora reaches in and takes 2 gold pieces out of it, sticks them in her pocket. Now it does.
Nice.
Cool. All right. 7 gold pieces for Ari.
Does Ezri hand them to Pog? Because Pog stepped back. It's your box.
Sure, he'll just pick up the box and hold it out.
Also, Thora, intel that I got that I neglected to share. I went to the Wayfinders to try and drum up any idea of if the Stormhammers got assistance from them in their trek, and I didn't find anything in that regard. But Hallis Martin, who we are associates with, I don't know. He went on a trek in the jungle with somebody named
It's Martain, isn't it?
You're
Yes.
the one that likes him.
He's a cool dude. Anyway, somebody named Banar he went out into the jungle with on an expedition. So I don't know if that name means anything to...
Went with him?
It was a hired, like, somebody named Banar hired him to go into the jungle. So, I don't know. Just...
Daedric Banar.
Oh.
Oh, I totally forgot to tell y'all.
You can remember now.
Yeah. Hallis put a mark on the map. When he took it away and brought it back, he put something on it. Something arcane.
Interesting.
I didn't want to tell anyone at the time because maybe Tomo would have, read someone's face or something, but
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe the Wayfinders were able to track them down and do something. Anyway, who's Daedric Banar?
He's one of the richer men in town. He's usually at the Black Freighter.
Oh.
Spends quite a lot of time there.
So is he Claw?
Black hair, with a goatee.
Oh, I waved to
dresses
him.
nice.
I mean, we saw him.
Right. Excellent.
I
Yes.
tried to sell him the
Very
boat.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, on it.
We're not
Oof.
we're not a unified
Boy,
front on what to do with the boat. So,
That is a potentially dangerous thing. A man like that might interpret that as a taunt.
cool.
Oh.
I'm gonna just put this out there. If you encounter him again, and any conversation regarding single combat comes up, don't do it.
Hear that?
Just don't do it.
Hear that, Kolos Crusher?
None of us?
Right.
Restrain, not pain.
Restrain, not pain.
Why
Restrain,
does
not
your
pain.
chest say that?
We discovered something about my powers on the job where if I'm mentally restraining somebody and somebody else inflicts pain on them, I feel all of that pain. So that was the quippy thing I came up with. When you see me restraining someone mentally, restrain, not pain. And Esri was kind enough to put it on his armor to remind us.
I can change it in a day.
I also think it's,
All right.
it could be applicable to other things, but, that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
I envision the
so
font.
Like what?
Pain, not restrain.
No, but that's aggressive. Like, if you wear a shirt that says that, people are going to be like, what is their deal?
But he's
Really?
wearing a shirt like that, and Thora just asked, what is his deal with that shirt?
I envision the look of it to be like the iron-on lettering, like that kind of like really smooth, like restrain, not pain. That's in my mind's eye what it looks like.
I'm just saying it's
Wait,
not
what-
any clearer one way than the other.
Anyway,
It's true.
Thora, do you have anything else, any other need of us right now?
Wait, Thora, Ari did his mind stuff when I did my lightning stuff, and they worked together.
We had a good moment of teamwork out there. Like, just, yeah.
It was really cool.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did.
all coming together.
Right. Nothing more for now, I think.
Okay.
We'll see if we can't find some other way to make continue making ourselves known.
Okay.
Perhaps in Cross this time, if we can find one. This job was out of our theoretical turf, but good way to announce yourself to some of the other gangs and militias.
They didn't seem to mind, fortunately. They weren't bothered by our presence.
Well,
Knights of Thrane is pretty safe people to deal with in most circumstances.
when
they're
Lady Taurus
orderly.
asked the people, the bystanders, what happened, They said we helped them.
Yeah,
You did.
they were.
Do you know? People who are killed by ghouls become ghouls.
I'm glad I did not
If
know that
those-
while I was fighting ghouls.
If those had gotten loose in the city, you really saved a lot of people.
Well,
How did they become ghouls? Do
That's
we know
kind of
that?
neat.
Can a vampire do that?
Can a vampire do that?
A powerful enough necromancer could, and a vampire could also be a powerful enough necromancer. There are lots of ways to acquire necromantic curses, but how these ones became ghouls, I don't know.
all right. Well,
Good talk.
R&R.
I don't know
Right.
why, but I feel like I could rest for a long time.
Yeah, about 8 hours would be real nice.
I think you'll want a longish box for that pog. Ideally, with a little
Probably
bit of
just go
dirt.
to the basement.
Ooh. You're
This
fine,
isn't
buddy.
going to stop for a while, is it? We're going to keep doing this now.
Only because you're fine.
Can I just be the Kolos Crusher again? Because that was way more fun.
Don't worry, buddy. I'll skip the garlic bread when I make dinner tonight.
But I
I'm looking
love
out for you.
Oh. Pog walks out
Right,
of the
that
room.
reminds me. I need to put out applications for a cook.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure they're good at bacon. And he
Do you
walks out
not
of
like
the room.
my cooking? That seems...
That's not what I
Means
said.
Well,
the meat, bacon, not baking.
okay. I'm going to
No,
go.
This is what he meant.
I'd say you've all earned an afternoon off. So
Thanks.
take care of yourselves. We'll look around for some ways to keep making ourselves aware, but also start moving towards opening this place up.
Mm.
We're not that far off from the traditional start of a term, so probably need to start reaching out to some potential candidates.
Yeah, if we're going to be teachers, then I guess we should probably figure out what we're going to do.
As I say, that's up to you if you're going to be teachers. We can also, I will also hire
All right.
professional educators who are willing. But if there's things you wish to teach the students, then let me know, and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Do we get a say in the professional educators that you hire?
Or do you have particular concern?
I do. I have a lot of concerns.
I'd be very happy to talk with you about them. I have no problem if you want to meet them before I hire them, but I suspect you would find that process very boring. But if
I
there are things you're looking
mostly-
for me to avoid,
I mostly just want. I don't think that they should harm children.
I would not hire anyone who intends to harm children. Shade.
Oh, okay.
So Tommel's out.
I
Dark thing to joke about.
Yeah. I laugh only to keep from crying, Thora. I only laugh to keep from crying.
He drinks for that
It's
reason
awful.
too.
I have a lot of coping mechanisms that I'm just...
If you have any other concerns, you can always bring them to me. But I will not hire anyone here in any position or allow anyone here in any position who intends to harm children.
good.
Probably also provoke some sort of violence if they informed me that they intended to harm children.
Yeah. Good.
So,
That's a
Good
good
call.
reaction.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that.
All right. Okay.
Very well.
I'm going to go to the library.
Right. Well, we'll talk more later.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And Pog, just so you know, it'll be next to the red wine bottle, but it won't have a label on it. So that's the one for you to drink. Just going to be thick, red, viscous. Okay?
I'm gonna go to bed now. And
Night, buddy.
in my bed, not in a coffin. I can.
It's
I'll
a
wake
good
you up.
plan. That way you'll be rested for the night.
I'll wake you up at sundown.
Later that afternoon, you do receive word that about an hour after you returned to the manor, someone arrived and removed all remaining boxes and things from the riverboat. And it is empty the next time you go by the wharf.
Did I miss that there were boxes on?
We maybe should have checked
Yeah,
the
there were-
boxes.
I feel like that was definitely a big miss for us, huh?
So,
Can't be all W's, gang.
and that's where we'll leave this episode off.
On that failure.
Your
It's a classic
Adventuring-
Casey description of our actions, you know? Just, here's the one thing you did terribly.
Remember
Moving
this
on.
episode for our blunders.
Your crew has earned 2 rep. Oh, congratulations. This will allow you to
Ooh.
advance in tier to be a more important faction in the town over time, and you've earned enough. And we'll deal with more of that later. But you've earned 2 rep for this successful takedown. job.
Huzzah.
Yay!
We did it.
Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed the show, we certainly appreciate any of the engagement buttons you want to hit down there or any comments you want to give us. We do a Q&A show every Friday called Khyber Shard Answers. That's either just me or me and one or more of the players here answering questions from you. You can put those questions either in the comments or in our Discord, which you can find a link to down below in the description, along with all of our other social media. And you'll also find a link down there to Colin's Twitch, where he streams on Tuesdays, as well as any other days where he's able, under the moniker of Sorry BTR. The O is a 0. That's our show. New episodes every Monday. Thanks for rolling with us.